What's going on? What's going on, everyone who's listening to this podcast right now? First of all, welcome to the Nikhil Sai Show, which is hosted by me, the Nikhil Sai. And guess what's going on today? We are back with another amazing two Karma Club interview. So just make sure to stick around. And you have no clue who is actually joining the podcast today. This dude is crazy. He's just 21 and he's already running businesses doing multiple million dollars in sales, which is crazy. And now in this industry where everyone is actually making money, trying to teach people how to make money, this dude is in a different pathway of actually building a real business and helping people to build effective businesses which are fundamentally strong, right? So again, this is going to be a crazily valuable session in case if you're an expert trying to monetize on your expertise, trying to scale your business, start creating high ticket offers and build out crazy systems and processes. This is going to be amazingly valuable session. So make sure to stick around. So again, let's not waste any time and actually welcome Prab Mangat, founder at generateagentleads.com. Hey Prab.
Hey Nikhil, how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great, Prab. Good to have you on this podcast today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. Always willing to share free value with the audience, and yeah, hopefully we can
Yeah.
do that today.
Absolutely. And Prob, like I really admire the journey you actually had. Like everyone in the space, they need like decades of experience to actually hit, $1 million in sales or doing multiple $1 million in sales online. But your journey is kind of very quick. It's been like, yo, you come in, you learn something, you fail dramatically, then you just fix the right things and you're just steaming up to the next level, right? So Prob, we would love to hear your backstory on how did all of this craziness started.
Yeah, so I like before all of entrepreneurship, I was actually at university. I was gonna go to med school. I was playing soccer at university, and then I was like preparing all my med school applications, and I'm like, okay, this is not for me because I saw the money. It's like maybe even at max 500K a year after taxes. It wasn't appealing enough for me. And again, I would be working under someone, and just I thought to myself, like, okay, it's not for me. Then business took off, started doing something on the side, which is what most people do is start a marketing agency. So we did the marketing agency stuff for a good 2 years, and in the first 2 years, we only netted 30K between me and my partner, and we were like 18-year-old kids back then, so like 17 almost, and we it was like a big amount of money. But after that, that's when things like started really going hard, and things started picking up. One of the good things in entrepreneurship, one of the beautiful things is that you can start to get results like within months. Like you can hit the nerve fast, and you can really get on the right track. You can get results very very fast, and that's sort of where we've been at past sort of year and a half. Just been on a growth trajectory. Yeah, like that's how we sort of got started. As just like we started the marketing agency space, and as everyone does, watch an infomercial, watch a webinar, get into the space, get immersed, learn about ClickFunnels, learn about funnels, and then you just keep on absorbing information, and eventually you'll piece it all together over time.
Yeah, absolutely, Prab. I think those little learning curves you actually had in those 2 years of struggle is what actually speed you up, right? And a lot of people, like 90% of them, start quitting in those first 2 years, right? But you stayed on course, which is pretty amazing. And Prab, like one of the things which I really observe in you when I actually look at your stuff, and it was really amazing the way you are standing out as an expert than anyone else in the marketplace. For example, you're actually serving in the real estate agent niche. Like there are probably like a million other agencies, coaches, consultants who are actually trying to serve the similar niche, but you are being like the top 1% who's trying to cut short, right? So, and this standing out expertise is not someone everyone has. So we'd love to hear as an expert, like how someone can actually start standing out and be the number one in the marketplace.
I think it starts with case studies. One of the big things like with generating leads is like we just actively like publicly advertise our case studies, and that's like a big proponent for our success because typically in like because the real estate marketing space, now that I look at it in retrospect, like it's a saturated space. So like as I learn more and more, I start try to piece together information like, oh, come with a new mechanism and differentiate yourself, because when like the rule of marketing is like when it's really really saturated, you come with a new mechanism or a new claim, right? So like anyways, for me, one of the ways that we stood out initially was that we just came up with a lot of case studies, and we just focused very very hard on case studies, and that allowed us to have more validity in our claims, and that was the first thing. And recently, I started noticing like offers, and one of the things that as an expert, like when we started making the offer, we changed up our offer fundamentally that it was different than everyone else in the marketplace. We put ourselves on a pedestal, like, and it sort of created allure around the product. That's why we were able to charge higher ticket price, and that's why we were seen as an expert. Because there's a lot. The real estate industry is very, very saturated with new agencies, marketers. They got companies with venture capital. So we as a bootstrap company had to come in, and we had to differentiate ourselves, which is using a brand new mechanism. And that's a big way that you can sort of differentiate yourself as an expert. My opinion is case studies are really the name of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Prab. I think that was super on point. And I believe like a lot of people who are trying to get into the space, in specifically any niche, they jump in and they look at everyone else who's serving the market. They try to really mimic and they wonder why clients are not walking through. It's like you're being a clown, you're copying someone else exactly, and how can you expect people buy stuff? Right? And yeah, Prab, that was really amazing. I think a lot of people should admit that they should start building case studies in their business to actually see like an authentic person, because it's being with these fake gurus all over. So you should be standing out as the actual person who can give the value first, showing the case studies, and as you mentioned, like a different offer with which is result oriented than anyone else. That's pretty amazing. And Prab, we've seen the way you have grown dramatically, especially the way you didn't spend a lot of money on ads, particularly moving your way with the right noodles when it comes to scaling up organically. Right? And a lot of agencies, high ticket coaches, consultants really struggle because of the increasing ad cost right now with the kind of competition happening on our platforms, right? Everyone is struggling to scale up, but you have been scaling to multiple six figures. Like I believe you're doing like a quarter million every single month in your business organically, which is amazing. So we would love to hear your 2 cents on scaling to multiple six figures organically.
Yeah. So what initially happened to us was we started off with paid ads. We sort of rode the paid ads train. Of course, ad cost rose. Now we had a better offer, and then cash collection charges are different. So we've always been profitable. I know a lot of people that got wiped out with paid ads. Like they just basically got like a lot of companies in our space, they're no longer in business. So everyone had to move towards a space of organic marketing outbound. We started this. So in the first when we first started off, so generating leads, we sort of in a way like quote unquote bootstrapped it using a Facebook group. So we use a Facebook group initially. It's called Facebook Ads for Real Estate. We did our first
Mhm.
600K in sales in that, right? So it was like a couple thousand people, and we just sell agents in there, and a lot of agents were really engaged. I would have like people messaging me every single week, and one of the biggest mistakes I did was we ditched that group. Now it's a ghost town and went to straight to paid ads. That's why now we're actually building it up again. Now, of course, we've got team members help us out with that process, but that was our first. Like, we never hit six figures in a month purely organically, but there were months where like a lot of it was organic earlier on, right? So Facebook group is a key element that you can use. But I think right now what we're in a place is like we're based on paid ads. We do outbound, we do organic, and we're focusing really hard on the outbound and organic elements. And organic particularly being we have a full-time person on payroll that's actively prospecting on Facebook and friend requesting real estate agents, inviting them to a Facebook group where we then do lives. All of our paid ads folks also come into our Facebook group, so we get a higher ROAS. So I think the Facebook group is a big element. Something that we've also done organically is our company page. We started to restructure it on Instagram because we had a lot of followers, right? So then we're gonna get those, and we're gonna have a full-time setter on Instagram messaging all of our followers, as well as we're gonna buy some Instagram page shoutouts, which I sort of do consider organic, even though we're paying to leverage someone else's media. But I find that it's so cheap in relative to like paid ads, and they are coming to see your content, and the content is what's going to convert them. It's a big organic piece. So that's what we're starting to do next is buy paid shout outs from influencers. Um, I think that those are the two main organic things that we're doing recently. Sorry for the lighting, but yeah, I mean, I think recently we're in a stage where you're sort of forced to do organic and outbound, especially if your offer just isn't hitting. So that's just the reality of how to make profit in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely, Prav. And we really love the way you're actually kind of using a hybrid model to kind of generate leads in every platform you find out. could be organic, outbound, emails, Facebook, anything, and just bring them into one lead source, which is kind of your Facebook group, right? So you're building like a complete lead list. I think this is something a lot of entrepreneurs should focus, because whenever you're repurposing content on your group, it automatically acts as a retargeting for all of your client base, which is just amazing. You can't do that manually to anyone, right? So this is amazing stuff, Prab. Love it. So let's get to the next question, Prab. You've been doing great, especially when it comes to scaling up quickly. And the reason you scale up fast is because you charge high ticket, obviously, right? So a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs who are coming from the coaching consulting space, they have so many issues actually creating in a high ticket offer, right? And as you're someone who validated it and trying to scale it to the next level, we would love to hear your 2 cents on creating high ticket offers.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't read the book right now, by Alex Hormozy, probably the best book in my opinion. And in retrospect, like I look at it, and we're doing a lot of the stuff before the book came out, just with our own like sort of analogies. The way that we did it, so I looked at the industry, and everyone was competing on a sort of a horizon of price. So everyone was being competed downwards. Everyone was charging retainers, and people got into this sort of paper appointment thing, and oh, I'll book you appointments on our calendar, 15, 20 appointments guaranteed. And I saw all these offers being saturated because I tried all the offers out, and everyone would say, hey, this other company's charging me this much. So a big golden nugget that I want to share here is that if you ever thought about it, why don't you just, have your service, get a sample size of 30 to 50 agents, or not agents, but clients, see how much you build them on a yearly basis, because most agencies, they churn out after 3 months anyways. See if you can compile a program, retain them for longer, which is 12 months, attach a guarantee to the program, charge higher ticket in that program. And, in general, that's what's worked for us. And that program was a new mechanism for us, right? And I mean, we crushed it. Like, people are paying 6, 7, 8, 9, 10K annually. And these are people that make 50K and below usually, right? So, I mean, we're charging a lot, but we're also providing value in such that like agents now have a database building tool, and it comes down to like the offer. And in terms of like the offer, like what can you offer that's different from everyone else? And sometimes it's just
Mhm.
packaging your solution differently. So can it be a program, right? Or can it be a brand new mechanism of delivering results, right? Because in the end of the day, everyone can get case studies, but the key difference at the end of the day is like sometimes like what's your mechanism, right? And if your mechanism is different, then it gives the prospect another reason to think, okay, you know what? I've tried everyone else out, but these guys have a unique mechanism. Let me try this out. And that's what I feel like was really a game changer for us.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. And I think that was really on point for a lot of people who are trying to create an amazing high ticket offer. You could just literally model what Prab mentioned, which is pretty amazing. So, Prab, let's get on the next question. I think this will be super exciting to actually talk about. So, can you tell us more about, as you're already into the space of looking at a lot of people coaching, consulting, and trying to coach coaches, like all of this crazy stuff, right? So, I'd love to hear, like, what do you think is the future of the coming coaching industry? How does that look like for you?
That was a good question. So what I've been seeing recently on Facebook, and in general, people want to make money fast. So the
So
next
fast.
yeah, really fast. And the most logical progression for most people is to copy whatever someone else is doing. And little do they realize is that the original person, the first to market, typically is the one that is going to have a significant advantage because they crafted that offer. And typically, if they're smart, they have 3 or 4 more offers in the back burner. And I've seen a lot of people emerge that have just been teaching coaches how to do organic marketing. And I know this because I got 5 or 10 messages almost weekly off this. So I know that this is definitely a prevalent thing. But I mean, I feel like the coaching industry, the online education industry is only going to grow. But I think the coaching industry, particularly the make money online coaching industry, is getting very saturated. And the people that are going to win long term are the people that can really deliver for their clients. So work heavily on the product. Sometimes that may mean going done for you, which is I've seen this trend in the industry, is that a lot of big players are actually trying to offer done for you solutions. And these done for you solutions are, of course, the perceived likelihood of achievement coming quoting directly from Alex Hormozy's book is going to be higher, right? So this is why I feel like right now the coaching industry is being incentivized to deliver a better product or service so that they can have more back end sales. And when you can get the back end sales, you build, of course, a loyal tribe, and of course, that's going to be retaining profits. So I think that because ad costs are getting very expensive, I know because I ran ads in the coaching space. I know back in the day we were trying to do a lot of coaching, particularly for agency owners in particular. But I think we just got really busy with generating leads. But we know that the ad cost is crazy high. The CPA has been rising, so you are incentivized now to make money on the back end, and that's where the coaching industry is going to go. Is that if you can't deliver for your clients, you have a real tough time. And then you can just be a quote unquote a traffic business and just trying to make money on the front end. I actually made a post on this the other day. You can just try to make money on the front end, do a lot of the organic marketing, pick up 5 or 10 clients a month, sometimes have a 50K a month profit, which is really good. But I think in general, if you want to stay in the game long term, you have to sort of A, come up with a better delivery mechanism for your clients, and B, stop competing with the same offers because it's going to be very, very hard for you to win. I mean, fundamentally, think about it. If you look at all like
Mm-hmm.
the people that sort of crack it big in like if you run ads and it sort of goes viral, they come up with a new mechanism, right? And that's what I've seen. It's like a new mechanism of making money online, and that's like
Yeah.
the next little push. And then people start copying that offer. Then you got to come up with a new offer. So you see, like a lot of gurus, you have multiple offers they're pushing out, and there's a reason behind it, right? Because people copy offers. I mean, our own offer has already been copied. The program model, right? That's why I'm saying it openly right here because it's not really golden nugget anymore. All it takes for you to just hop on a call, we get so many funnel hackers daily just to see your offer, right? So, I mean, I can't really do much anymore at this point, but like, again, that's sort of the future, in my opinion, of the whole coaching industry.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I really agree the fact, Prab, you really mentioned this on point. Like everyone who's trying to become a new coach right now, who cannot promise on the delivery, are really going to be flushed out very soon, because the market is going to realize who's the real deal and who is not, right? And I think they should be really focusing on what you just mentioned, which is a building long-term tribe who can actually be long-term customers, and where you can really keep on adding value to help them achieve the results they want to achieve with you, which is
And
amazing.
I think if we like expand the time horizon a little bit, like most people that I know that are in my masterminds and that are like have $10 million in the bank, $15 million in the bank, these are people that have expanded out over 10 years. And if we look at it like fundamentally, like the logical progression for most coaches is to add in a software element, a recurring element, right? So which is like sort of what Russell Brunson did, is you make your cash first in the coaching consulting and you build a loyal tribe and you learn how to fulfill your customers. Then you see, okay, how can I make it more efficient and serve more customers, have a bigger impact being software. So when you don't have that element, it's very hard for you to have like a long-term benefit. Like you can make a quick cash, but realistically, long-term, it becomes difficult for you to like sort of have like a, you know, people like to call it exit, but like
Yeah.
that's realistically where it is. Like, how do you exit the business, right? And that's like a long-term solution that I always look at is that how can you build
Yeah.
a tribe and then potentially sell them software at the end?
100%, because the fire is going to get colder soon if you don't really maintain that vibe long term, right? Which is just
Mhm.
amazing. So really they need to maintain that fire for long term, so that they keep on adding value and they keep in they be in the business for long term. And Prab, like one of the things which you've really done great is maintaining a small team and still managing the level of scale you actually achieved, which is just amazing. So I'd love to hear like your key takes on actually hiring leaders and key players in a team, because when it comes to people who are having that level of success quickly, right, they really kind of struggle to handle that, but you have done it pretty well. So I'd love to hear that here on that part.
Yeah, it's a good question. So that's like how sort of how I talk about like we switch from a complete marketing agency model into sort of a consulting hybrid model. Like I want to come up with a name for this ideally, but we do it differently than everyone else because like I'd say about 80% of the work is done or 70% of the work is done by our customer, and the other 20% that yields the most of the results is done by us. So we still do done for you ads for our customers, but a big portion of it's coaching consulting, and that's where like you know, the done for you ads is sort of like the example of like if a dog has ticks, right? And you want to give it garlic, but you want to give it garlic and it doesn't accept it, you want to wrap it up in ham and then give it, which is what we do. We say, hey, it's done for you ads because there's a big misconception in the industry that, hey, I don't want to run my ads. Like, I want you guys to do it for me. That's really fine because for us, it doesn't take that long to do. And we have a lot of system and process around it. But a lot of time, like, it's can we do it in a way that we can sort of share the duties to the customer. Now, the way, like I said, the program model, the offer that I mentioned, it's worked so well because you can now have like just dedicated weekly coaching calls and support calls. You can have dedicated email support, and I mean we have a team of just really 3 people, and that's not including me, of course, right? 4, and then we have a lot of assistants that help us out as well. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and like the 3 core people in our backend team is just they're local here, but I mean we manage 600 plus clients with just those 3 people, right? So it's because every single customer has the exact same process, exact same ads, exact same onboarding process, and like the same support questions for emails relatively, the same reason they get escalated or angry. So we have everything down to an art. And I mean, it took a little while. It was a work in progress. Um, and I know a question may come is like, how did you train them? Best way, just get in the hopper and like just do it in front of them. Like literally, it's like the practice what you preach thing. Make the calls to angry customers in front of them, right? Take the coaching calls in front of them. Do it for six
Yeah.
months and shadow them. And you have an army of people now that is just as usually pretty equipped to handle the back end support success team. And then they can start training other people. So you got to put the early investment in my opinion, but that pays off. And then as a founder, allows you to work on the product and in general, that's where the highest yield comes in anyways.
Yeah, 100% Prab. I think that's really beautiful. A lot of entrepreneurs trying to hire a team, they keep all of those secrets for themselves, and they hire this new person in the team and they expect them to do all of the work this guy wants them to do without giving them anything to look over, right? Which is just crazy. And I really love the fact you actually kind of been very specific on your avatar, because I believe you mastered your client's requirements. So like you have like a pretty structured way of delivering, and a lot of people really struggle to build that system, and that's why they're being in that time trading process of picking one client and stuck in there for months after months and unable to get more clients, right? Which is pretty amazing, Prab.
Yeah, like adding on to that point is like the avatar part is so big because like we like in real estate leads, for example, like that's sort of industry we're in, even though we just don't offer leads. Seller leads is like the holy grail, right? Like if you could give seller leads, then most companies cannot and most people cannot because it's so hard, right? Because it is heavily involved in the customer's end. We don't offer seller leads for that matter, right? We know we can deliver on buyer leads, and we're going to be the company that offers buyer leads because we know that we can fulfill on buyer leads, and we know that our customers don't complain, and that also allows us to have long-term enterprise value because customers renew, they ascend, and in general, that's how I feel like you just gotta say no to people. We turn away so many prospects that just want seller leads, right? And we turn away so many prospects that just do like, oh, I only do commercial real estate because that's not our avatar, that's not who we help, right? And sure, it may be something to do with like your sales reps might, of course, they're incentivized to sell as many people as possible, but things like that, right? So just turning away customers that you feel like you just can't help because it's going to hurt your company long term. I mean, taking on the wrong avatar could mean tons of bad reviews online, right? Could mean a
100%.
higher churn rate for your company. And in general, like they're just not a good idea. So define the client avatar early on.
Yeah, 100% Prab. And I really understand like a lot of business owners need to learn to say no to everyone who's approaching them, because like entrepreneurs try to be that hungry dude to get everyone into the pipeline and get stuck. They really love that process. I'm not sure why, but people like you who figure that out, that they should be clear on a single type of niche, and you only pick up clients you want to work with, you only handpick clients. I think that's going to completely game change. And as you just mentioned, like having that one wrong client in your pipeline will result in dramatic or drastic failure of the entire portfolio you're built, because he can ruin you, bury you just like that with a bad review, right? You should really take care of it. Yeah, Prab. Let's get on the next question, man. I think this is getting so fired up, really excited for the value you're gonna drop here and loving the vibe here. So, buddy, you've been managing the scale, having these 3 people get all of the stuff done, managing your time well, getting all of this stuff productively. You hit gym like crazy, so we'd love to hear more about like what kind of tools and systems you use internally to manage your projects and clients for productivity.
Yeah. So we recently, like, so we're like the consulting model and everything, and then we literally were forced to build some sort of software element. Like that's the level we got to. So we invest a lot of money with man hours and resources. Over the span of a couple months, it costs us about 100 something K to build this product. It's like a whole back-end software dashboard that allows them to, check accountability metrics. They can request to turn on and off their ads, and request certain stuff, and a lot more software stuff involved. And that's going to be continuously, that's sort of a minimal viable product in a way, for the software, and then we're going to add on to it. So um, we built something in-house that allows us to do that, track like the progress in the CRM and call them out on it. And it's a game changer. So we use this a combination of Airtable, Stacker app, our own software that we built out, Facebook groups, intercom support's a game changer because we have templated responses, weekly coaching calls, like that kind of stuff is able to sustain clients and keep them relatively decently happy. So those are some of the tools that we use in house that are really, really good. Another big thing that we added in was something called an escalation form. So here's a more practical example for all you listening. There's sometimes sales reps that will reach out for like payment collection, or just sometimes customers reach out when they're disgruntled or angry. They reach out to the sales rep, and we got to a point where we're getting like escalations that we like. Some of them weren't getting tracked, and we just found out a way to just make it simple. Have an escalation form, the job form. The sales rep fills in all the information, or anyone in the company for that matter. They fill in all the information of what's going wrong. Then it gets forwarded to our account manager, client success director team. They respond to all those little internal tickets by the end of the day, a Slack channel, and that's been a game changer for us. I mean, we've been able to like for example, we've been able to prevent so much churn this way. It's crazy. Like there was a customer like that, like he wasn't angry, but he wasn't satisfied. Like he was talking about something where we could have like potentially improved, and he just talked to the sales rep about it. It was just sort of a feedback thing. Sales rep literally submit the support ticket or the escalation ticket. We responded back with the banger email response and answered it right away for him. And like it was going above and beyond. That's literally helped us out a ton. So that's another tool that we use in house.
Yeah, absolutely, Prab. I think that's an amazing feedback system, and every entrepreneur should actually take this key takeaway and try to see how they can actually implement this exact thing which Prab is using inside business, because that's going to give you a lot of feedback. Because a lot of entrepreneurs get into this ego stage when they're trying to run a business and have a team. I'm the CEO and you guys get the work done. I won't hear you out. But having these escalated systems and all of these feedback systems can really help you to see what's happening, because you don't know what you don't know, right? That's amazing, Prab. Really, really helpful. Thanks for the golden nugget. And Prab, we wonder, like, do you have any daily routine for your business which is scaling through the roof? We would love to hear more about your daily routine for success.
I think the key is like just living a boring life. Tell all of our sales guys the same thing. I mean, for me, that's a function of being single, because I feel like that was a distraction. That's the first thing. Secondly is making sure that you have like your health optimized. Something that I did. Like I've been an athlete my whole life, played college soccer and everything, and I was always healthy and fit. But when it came time for building a business, I gained all this weight because pretty much ate out like junk food and didn't work out for like a good year, especially with COVID. And I gained like a good 20-25 pounds, right? And I mean, it's not good in terms of like running with your business. It doesn't make you feel good. So like recently we've been starting to go hard in the gym. And that's like one of our hobbies, right? That's like a sort of an escape for us. But I think like in general, keeping your health and then spending time with your family is a big thing. Because like you don't want to like make all this money and then later on feel like, oh shit, I didn't spend any time with my family, right? So that's definitely a weird feeling. It's not a good feeling to be experiencing. And then yeah, like I think in general, just like get a routine and just like have 3 or 4 actionable items. So I have like hundreds of stuff on my to-do list every single day. Like every single idea I added in. But one thing I do that is really served me well is 3 or 4 like actionable tips. Like you can see here, like we have a sticky note. There's 3 or 4 things. Every single day we'll have a new sticky note, and we'll get those 3 or 4 things done. That's how you take massive action. Just 3 or 4 things. Don't do any more than that. And start doing that for 1 month. You're getting 90 tasks done on average, which is a lot, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how that's like a daily routine tip that I would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely, Prab. I think that was really helpful, and a lot of entrepreneurs trying to do crazy routines, and they write 90 tasks every day. End of the month, if they look at the task they completed, it's like 9 out of 9, like 1900 or something like that, right? Which is just crazy. I think you really nailed it, mentioning that only 4 steps ahead every single day, because it's more about the probability of you finishing up the work, not about the number of tasks you're writing on your task board, right? We see people getting obsessed on that, but that's amazing, Prab. I think this is key value for a lot of people. And yeah, I know you're pretty young with this, buddy. I know you're already just like 21 right now. It's getting your business, but if there is a suggestion you want to give to probably like a peer who's trying to get into business, who's young, who's trying to see and all of people having success, so what will be a number one suggestion for them? Someone who's just getting started.
Um, I would say like invest into mentorship early on. Don't make the mistakes. Like don't make expensive mistakes. So we did that fortunately early on, and we still continue to do it. So that's probably the best opinion. Secondly, is work in an environment. Can't really, you know, can't be partying and all that kind of stuff. Especially as a young person, you're incentivized to do that, but it's not going to serve you well long term. So I think just take about 3 to 5 years, live a boring life, be single if you have to, and just scale and potentially set yourself up for the rest of your life. And I think that's sort of the suggestion is that you got to take some damage, you got to go through the turbulence for a couple of years, and it's going to be high stress, but it's worth the reward. Of course, considering that you're on the right process, you have the right mentors, and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's the suggestion I would give.
Yeah, 100%, bro. That was really beautiful. I think a lot of youngsters who are trying to get into business really needs that. And Prab, we admit that you're kind of in the stage of where you're actually getting the traction inside your business and scaling it up. But we would love to hear like what are your life's biggest achievements so far and any next bigger goals?
I think one of my life's biggest achievements is being able to pay off my parents' mortgage monthly, so they don't have to work. Like my mom is starting to get retired at way before retirement age, and they're just working really just for their friends that they built throughout the work, and just not remaining bored. And it's a relatively easy workplace, but I think that's the biggest achievement. Second is that we've been able to invest in properties. So we're looking into one right now. There's a WeWork office behind us, but I mean, we're probably better off and more productive working in an apartment, empty apartment, for the empty house folk. I like Specker stuff. That's what we're looking into right now. And the bigger goal in my next like 5 to 10 years is build generate agent leads to the point where we actually have the best product in the marketplace, like as in get the quickest wins for customers, get the highest net revenue retention annual basis, minimize churn, and serve thousands of agents. And in general, of course, I've achieved financial freedom myself. Allow our team members to achieve financial freedom through the knowledge I pick up. So that's my goal as well. Is that I don't want to. I don't. I always feel like the term employee has a negative connotation to it. So I want to make sure the team at Generation Leads is able to grow everything from our sales reps to our internal team members. They should have the tools here to earn more and more. So that's sort of the bigger goal next is you know just have a bigger impact on everyone.
Yeah, 100% proud. Love it, love it. Excited to see your journey along the way, but this is so exciting. And yeah, like I think that's a key thing you should be realizing as an entrepreneur, as a founder, as a CEO in your company, that you should be stop treating your team as employees who work for you. Rather treat them as someone who's like someone who's trying to help you, investing their time and sweat for you to make you build your business, right, and have the same vision with you. You should try appreciating them. And if someone is working with you from long time and if they haven't grown in any areas of their life, health, wealth, relationship, it doesn't make any sense for them to be with you for long term. So you should be really looking at that. That's amazing, buddy. And I think this is going to be a kicker. I'm pretty excited to hear this out, buddy. But Trav, like, what was the biggest mistake in your life so far in terms of especially business wise?
Um, that's got to spend a minute or something to think about this probably. Um, I think probably not dropping out of school sooner. I think that's a big one because I always had an idea that I was gonna do something. So like when I was like getting into university, like I had this idea in my mind that okay, I want to achieve this number, but there was different vehicles of doing it, right? Like there was like the e-com store, there was like the clothing line, and I was like looking at all these, and I cracked on the agency stuff early on, like right before university started, and I feel like if I just went hard on it, I would have probably we would have been way further along. But again, like I feel like everything sort of happens for a reason. But I feel like that was definitely a big sort of mistake that I think I could have done better on. Um, and yeah, that's probably the biggest mistake in my opinion.
Yeah, Prab. I think this could be related to a lot of entrepreneurs. Like when entrepreneurs discover something which is working, which is making them money, the first thing they'll try is stop doing what's working and they try to look for the next bigger thing. It's just like entirely keep this thing aside and try to do some new things and reinvent the wheel for themselves, right? Because they feel like they're the Einstein of the industry once they start making money, which is just crazy. So yeah, yeah, Prab, that was really amazing, buddy. Let's get to the next question. Your main inspiration for the success and key people involved in your journey.
Um, Main inspiration, my parents. Um, they worked their butts off for me. I'm gonna work my butt off for them, and I'm gonna make sure that they don't ever have to work a day in their life again. Which we're pretty much already at that point, but I want to make sure that they can enjoy their life, they can travel, they can you know drive nice cars if they want to. I want to make sure I provide them with that. Also, my brother, sister, so family. Key persons involved, again, my parents, because I still live with my parents, and they paid for everything. I mean, we worked out of their house, and I mean, they never ever said, "Hey, you have to pay for rent." So parents is literally the number one reason. Like I know, like we're fortunate to have that because we didn't have to worry about paying for rent. Our fixed costs of living are very very low. Um, I mean, we don't really spend money on anything, and that's just right now. It's a personal choice because we want to accumulate capital. And yeah, like they're probably the key persons involved.
Absolutely, Prab. And I really love the impact your family is creating on you and the way you're supporting them with the long term vision. We are excited so that people can actually understand this and they can try to implement this inside their business to see how they can be very close to the family and still successfully run their business with their help, which is just amazing. And Prab, like, you're so amazing, cool dude, like with so much value, building successful business, very engaged. Like, where can our audience find you mentoring, buddy?
So we actually just started up scaledconsulting.com. We primarily help like agencies, coaches, consultants sort of do what we've done at generationleads.com. I mean, we have the numbers to prove it. I always urge you guys that hey, if you guys are skeptical of what we do, hop on a call with us and we'll show you everything. That's like my philosophy because there's a lot of fake gurus in the space. But we do coach and consult. We have a program, and I mean, if you want to listen to more about that, you could join our Facebook group. It's called the Scaled Consulting Community. We post a lot of free content on there. I got a YouTube channel, Prab Mangit, that I post on regularly, and of course Instagram. I just like to provide a lot of free value. So even if you don't want to work with us on a one-on-one, or we don't really do one-on-one coaching, but we do group consulting. But if you don't want to work with us in our coaching program, I put as much free value as I can on our YouTube channel and on the Instagram profile and Facebook profile and the Facebook group as well. So just get all the free information from there.
Yeah, absolutely, Prab. I'll be mentioning all of the links which Prab is talking about, his group, his YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram in the description. So make sure to check out this cool dude so that you can actually cut short the learning curve and start having the success which Prab had for sure. And that's amazing. That's amazing, Prab. It was a really valuable information you're actually sharing on this podcast. All of the learning curves, the ups and downs, and the kind of way you pivoted in multiple variations to scale your business, which is pretty amazing. Any last word before we conclude the entire podcast session today, brother?
Just don't quit because if you quit, then you lose. If you don't quit, then you keep on winning. And that's like one thing that I've always been doing. If I quit, and I mean, that means I lost the game. It's going to be the worst feeling in the world. But if you keep on pushing and you might not come on that one idea, might not crack that one offer just yet, keep on solving for it. And of course, invest in mentorship because that's going to help you aid in that decision. But I mean, in general, just don't quit, because that's probably the biggest mistake you can do.
Yeah, absolutely, Prab. Like comes down to the point, like winners never quit, quitters never win, which is just amazing. Like write this on your notes and stick it on the wall, man. Like just don't waste your time, never quit, right? And again, Prab, like it was a really valuable session, buddy. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. We're pretty excited for the journey we're gonna have along the way and the kind of success we're gonna be achieving. And everyone who's listening to the podcast so far, really listen to this, take notes and start implementing. Don't let this podcast to be another audio you're going to be listening and never implementing. Make sure this to be like a real action plan, because Prab really nailed down on the journey on how he went from actually trying to build a business to actually successfully building a business which is doing $250,000 a month, which is just amazing. So take the key learnings, start implementing. Hope you'll achieve quick results for sure. And again, hopefully guys who stayed for the podcast so far, you enjoyed the podcast session. Let look forward for the next interview. I'll be coming back with another two Karma Club award winner. So this is me, the Nikhil Sai, and Prab Mangat signing off for today. Peace.